Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 22. Let me just slow that down a minute. It's at 2 degrees. Maybe 2 degrees isn't enough to have it disappear on us. We'll keep fast forwarding. Yeah, I'm just going to shut that one off. Oh no, I thought it changed, but no, that's the... Not a lot changing, is there? That's the sun sort of going back in behind the clouds. Maybe it does work slightly differently on this map compared to the Hobaileron map, where the snow just kind of disappears. Snowing again now, so the temperature is still slightly above freezing, but it is now actually snowing again, and it's going to keep doing that. And the darkness consumes us. Right. Well, in this case, what we will do, let's turn our torch on a minute, and we will go for a little bit of a mosey on over this way. We'll slow down that time now. We don't need to worry. We'll leave it on 10 times for a minute. And we will get another bit of shut-eye. And we are on to January the 1st, so we've had more snow overnight. Still got my torch on. It's looking quite calm and peaceful right out across. We'll take a walk over this way and have a look at the area that we were snow plowing before, and we'll see what's happened there. Because we had extra snow, it doesn't look like the game puts extra layers of snow, so you get a layer of snow and then it stays like that. So you can go and clear some of it away, like we've done over here. We haven't got additional snow over the top, so this is still the same height as that. So you've either got snow there or you don't. So there's always a set amount. I'm guessing it's done like that because it's better to code. It's easier to code. It doesn't complicate things as much. That would be my guess, at least. It's probably the best way of going and doing things. So with our sheep, we currently have the 12 sheep right there, and they have now reproduced. So we've got lambs in here. They've just reproduced now. We've got 0 age lambs. We only got 3 because that's filled the pen up completely, which does mean that the other 9 lambs that we potentially could have been lost, and they won't now reproduce at all. Unless we clear some of the sheep out of the pen. And we have to decide whether we want the sheep to be producing more sheep, in which case we've got to regularly remove them, or if we want the pen to produce the maximum amount of wool that we could possibly get from them. These have got another 2 months, and then they will reproduce. And they're doing quite nicely. So we've got 350 litres of wool here. We've got 1,147 litres of wool up here. So there's a little bit of food needed. We don't have to worry too much about it. So we've got 1 full pallet here, and then we've started on the next pallet. Now, the best way to get these types of pallets will actually be to come in from this side, which could be difficult with our tractor. There's no could be about it. That will be difficult with our tractor, unless I can alter the pallet forks so that we can pick them up end on, like you can with some of the forklifts. But we won't worry about that. So, snow on the ground. We've got our snowman over here. We could potentially go and do some more snow on the ground if we wanted to, but I don't really think that's something that we want to do. It's January at the moment. The best price we're going to get for the food from the greenhouses is in February. We've got a dip right there. A little bit higher on the strawberries compared to the February price, but it's the February price that we want to get. We don't have the lettuce. So we will skip along for another month, and let's take a look at the weather forecast, because mostly we want to be sort of focusing on the snow. It's -2 here at the moment. It's going to go to 1 degree later, and the sun is going to come out at 6 o'clock this evening when it's pitch black. So that's going to be an interesting one to find out. There's apparently more snow coming in February and February 2nd. January here, this is apparently going to be a bit warmer at 3 degrees. So we'll go and get some more sleep. I know that we could just sleep right where we are, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go over this way, and we're going to just get a little bit of shut-eye. It looks like there's no chance that the snow is actually going to melt today. It didn't melt at 2 degrees, so it shouldn't melt at 1 degree. So we're going to get our sleep. There's the extra snow coming in. So it's just going to make sure that it stays on the ground. At least that's what I'm assuming. It's that pile. It's the pile of snow that I want to see what happens with that. That's the one. I'm wondering if when we reach 3 degrees, now on the 2nd day of January, so we've still got all this snow on the ground. This is great. We've got 1,128. These are doing fine. They've got plenty of food. So, yeah, the others will be fine as well, so we don't need to worry about them. And there is our pile of snow. We'll go and have a look here. 3 degrees from about lunchtime. And it's going to stay at 3 degrees, and it's going to be bright and sunny as well. So there is the distinct possibility that that could melt our snow. I'm going to get up on top of the heap here and see what happens. So we're going to fast forward like that. The sun comes up over the mountains over there. See, the shadow of the sun kind of... I love the way this works. The shadow of the sun coming up. We don't get a lot of sunshine here during the winter, do we? Throughout the winter, we really don't get very much sunshine here at all. It doesn't get high enough up over those mountains to give us any... There it is, look! It's just coming in through a little bit. It's not reached me. I'm left in darkness because of that tree. That one tree there that we wanted to keep is keeping me in darkness for the entire winter. At least there's some sunshine. The sheep have got sunshine. Look at them. They look so happy. And we're in 1 o'clock. So this, it should be like about 3 degrees now. It should stay like this for the afternoon. This is quite amazing, actually, because I've only really dealt with the snow on the Hoe Baler On map. There was a little bit on the Elm Creek one. But it disappeared very, very quickly. This is the first time I've actually seen it on the ground all winter, which is quite remarkable because we've got the snow still on the ground here, and the... Ooh! Did you see that? There's actual layers of snow. There's layers. One of the layers just disappeared. So where we removed the snow, it's... Oh! Where'd my snowman go? My snowman has gone. Okay, so when the snow disappears, it does so all at once. I'm a little bit disappointed about that. I was hoping that that would be at least hanging around for a while. We spent a long time making my snowman, and now it's just gone. It's just vanished. That's disappointing. We'll have to say farewell to the snowman. I don't think we'll be building another one. There is some more snow in the forecast. We've got snow today, actually. But... Oh, no. Snow tomorrow. There's one more lot of snow tomorrow. But the temperature now, I think, is high enough that the snow is not going to stay. That's kind of it for snow for us. So we need to move on to the spring. We need to think about spring things and spring thoughts. And seriously, I am such a donkey. Right. I meant to sell the produce from the greenhouse in January, although everything was covered in snow, so it would have been a bit more difficult. We're going to sell it in February because apparently I wanted to miss the January price. The February price of the tomatoes has plummeted, though it's not as bad as it has been. So we get 500 for tomatoes, 265 for those. Lettuces, which we don't have, they're higher, but I mean, they take a lot longer to produce anyway. That's doing alright. We'll worry about the sheep in a bit. We'll also put food and stuff in for them as well. We've got our pallets down here, which we're going to leave. Next on the list, we'll go and take off this lot. And we'll get that trailer, and then this greenhouse has had its door open for the entire winter. Chalk that up to my lack of expertise. Oh well, we're getting a lower price for the tomatoes by a long way. It's probably because they got frostbite. That would explain it. All of our tomatoes have got frostbite, which is why we aren't getting a very good price for them. So in here, we've got 7,000 litres of strawberry stored, which is 14 pallets. And in here, we've got 1,500 litres of tomato stored, which is another 3 pallets. So we've got the ones outside, plus the ones that are stored in the greenhouse as well. We've got a lot of produce to take down into town. Alrighty then, so I am back doing some new recording, and since I recorded last, I have started a thing on our Discord, which is kind of started and kind of carried on from, well, sort of carried on. I said a long time ago, oops, I'm going to take off the back one there. I said a long time ago that people who are in the Great Book of Names would have additional input into how the series is run. And so I've started asking weekly questions over on the Discord for people who are in the Great Book of Names. There is a separate channel on our Discord that people in the Great Book of Names get to use, and it hasn't been used very much. And I said quite a while ago, it is actually one of the perks for channel membership, and channel membership does get you into the Great Book of Names as well. There are other ways of doing it, but I haven't really said elsewhere, although it was my intention that that would be the case. So, long story short, I have started asking questions to people in the Great Book of Names so that you can have some input into how this series is run. And, well, not just this series, but all three. All of the Farming Simulator stuff, you can have input into how it is run on the channel. That was the intention right from the start, but I never really did it. We had the questions in the videos, but then they got rid of the polls on YouTube, so I wasn't able to keep going with that. It was a bit unfortunate. I was a bit disappointed with that. So, yeah, the questions that I asked this week, or last week, were related to what animals that we should have on the map. And I said, should I get bees on this map, and in order to start collecting some honey? And the majority, there were a few people that said no, but the vast majority, over 90% of people, said yes, we should have bees and we should be collecting honey. And I also asked about chickens, whether or not we should branch out into chickens, and it had a similar response. Now, this is the hardcore series, so I need to think carefully about how I'm going to bring them in. A few people have said that they feel that chickens are a wee bit overpowered. You do seem to get an awful lot of eggs for what's going on there. So, for that reason, I am going to be a little bit careful about how I deal with chickens in this series. And I think that one of the limitations should be, because, I mean, we could, if we wanted to, go and buy chicken food. So we can go into here, we could get chickens, and then we come along, we go to the big bags right here, and we buy wheat to feed the chickens. So we could do that, but what I'm thinking is, if we want chickens, we have to grow the food ourselves. That is, I feel that's a suitable sort of hardcore limitation. If we want chickens on this map, then we must grow them ourselves. We got 11,000 strawberries here, 11,000 litres of strawberries right here, which is quite a bit. We're not going to be able to get all of the tomatoes onto this trailer along with all of the strawberries that we've got here. It's just not going to happen. Let me take those straps off there and put the strawberries on. There'll be a few pallets that will just pop out in a minute. I don't want to move the trailer. If you move the trailer very much, well, I suppose if I put the straps on, that would be alright. But if we just wait a second, there we go. There's the other 3 pallets, and I can take 2 more. So it's going to leave behind 2 pallets of tomatoes that we won't be able to take with us. See? That's it. That is now completely loaded up. We can fit no more. So, do we do a new... Well, I can't afford to build a track. I can't really afford to build much else. I do want to also get the 3rd greenhouse on here. That's another thing that I want to work on. So chickens, I'm kind of thinking that yes, like the majority of you said yes, I should have chickens, and there were a few people that said no, I shouldn't. No reasons were given, but the response was that they didn't want chickens, and a few people didn't want me to have bees and collect honey. So I am going to get both of them because over 90% of you said yes. But chickens, I really do think that if we say that we have to grow our own food for the chickens, that is going to add an extra level of complexity and challenge to the series and to what we do there. So in order to be able to grow our own, that does mean that we will need tools and machinery to break the earth, but we're already going to want to do that because we do want to focus on root crops with any arable type, well, any, I don't know if root crops actually come under arable or, I suppose, horticultural? I don't know. Anyway, agricultural production like that. Any growing of crops, like, we've already got root crops as going to be our main focus. So, in order to be able to branch out a bit and get some wheat as well, we would need, additionally, on top of everything that we would want for the potatoes and the sugar beets, we would need a combine. And that's it. I don't think there's anything else that we would need in order to be able to grow that. So we would have to buy a combine. That's the only thing. And I don't think it's going to be all that difficult to buy a combine. Like, we can buy a cheap combine, and we don't need a very large area of ground to grow with. It has to be, for chickens, I believe it's wheat, barley, or sorghum, I think. It might just be wheat or sorghum. It's definitely wheat and sorghum. I'm not sure if we can include barley. Sorghum, you don't get as much grain, and it doesn't... See, I don't know. I haven't actually done any chickens in this version of Farming Simulator yet. So I don't know if we need wheat and sorghum, or if we can have wheat or sorghum. Also, sorghum is much lower yielding than wheat is, so I don't know how much we actually need in order to have the sorghum, like, be able to replace the wheat. Because it could be... Wait, I don't need to go up this way, do I? Yes, I do. There's the supermarket right there. In order to have the wheat replace the sorghum, in order to have the sorghum replace the wheat, do the chickens consume less of it? Do they give more eggs with it or something? I'm not really sure what goes on there. But we can at least plan to grow wheat to start with, and then we've got food for our chickens, and then we've also got the additional supply of straw that will come in that we would be able to bale up. We'll already have baling. We've already got baling equipment. We'll have the baling equipment to deal with that. The straw, we're not going to be having any animals that are going to use it, so we can sell the straw straight away to the animal market, and it's a little bit of extra income coming off it. We will try out the sorghum with the chickens and see if we can do something, but that's going to be a little bit further down the line. I'm also going to be getting the... Let's just bring that one back up onto there like that. Take those straps off like that and let it sort of work its way through. It's going to dance them off the side now, isn't it? Maybe I should just leave the straps on. Yeah, let's put those on a minute, because I'm not sure what's going on there, but there we go. Right, so we got 5,000 euros in sold products from that lot. That's not bad. I mean, we are on hard difficulty right here. 5,000. So yeah, not too bad, but I feel it could have been better. I mean, we do have the... Yeah, the prices are down a bit, aren't they? Strawberries down a little bit. It's not too bad. Anyway, we got 5 grand from that lot. I'm quite happy with that. I feel that is a pretty good result. The massive amount of money that we got from the silage from doing that contract, it's overinflated. But we know that already. So, yeah. Chickens. We will work towards chickens. Now, honey means that we need to put down a collection point for the honey pallets. And then we need to have a few beehives scattered around in order to be able to collect some honey from them. So we could have a look at those. Now, at the moment, we've got 6,000. It's really weird the way this trailer does that. The way that it sort of twists like that when you're going around a corner fast. Very bizarre the way it does that. We've got to decide how many beehives we want and where we're going to put them. So that's going to be our next decision. I'm not really sure, to be honest, where we want to go and put those. So we've got a few long-term goals to work towards in this series now. We're going to want chickens. We want to branch out. We want to be doing some root crop farming. That's definitely something that's on the cards. We need to be able to get the machinery for that. We probably want to get a baler of some kind so that we can do silage and sort of upgrade from our small baler that we've got at the moment. And then we're also going to want chickens. Now, bees, we could actually do those sooner rather than later, because they don't cost all that much and they do start giving a bit of a return. Here we go with the noise again. This one roaring up the hill. Oh, I know it lagged out a bit there, but the game does from time to time. Fantastic. I have turned it down a little bit because it was getting a little bit loud for me, but I don't know, it just seemed to be getting slightly louder as time went on. But I can still hear it. I don't know if you can all still hear it. I'm hoping you can. He can do all right in second gear mostly. Occasionally he runs into a bit of trouble. Oh, he got greedy. He went for third. That's where he went wrong. He got greedy in going for third, and that sort of messed things up for him. Big time. Shouldn't have done it, mate. You shouldn't have done it. You shouldn't have got greedy there. Know your own limits. That's what you got to do. You got to know your limits. So we'll put this trailer up here next to the other one. We'll park them both here like this. Right. So that's going to stop there. Now, what have we got in our greenhouses at the moment? Have a look in here. It's 14,000 and that's 14,000. So that's absolutely fine. And we've got no limits on there. Food, water. All right. We'll start this one up. We'll get the water bowser going and we'll carry a couple tanks of water around. We need to put some in for the sheep and we can put a little bit down for the greenhouses. It's not going to hurt to take a bit down there as well. So we'll go and do that. I'm going to park the water bowser a little bit differently next time so that we can get past the tractor when we want to. And there isn't going to be a lot else to do other than have a look and see where we want to put our pallet. That's going to be something. We've got to decide where we want to put the honey pallet, the collection point for it. We will work on that. Come here, out round. The sheep are doing nicely. They're producing some wool for us. This is all good. Here like this. Oh, you've actually got to get the tail end of the tanker over to the water to do this. So put that in there. Not a lot of water needed. Go on up this way. And I'll reverse the tanker back up this side. I suppose if we sort of did it every other time, with one lot of sheep with one tanker and the next lot of sheep the next tanker, it might be a bit quicker, but I don't think it makes a lot of difference. Put that one in there. Right, sheep are happy. I thought that was a full pallet down there for a minute. It's not at all. Not even close. And then I'll go and put half of the tanker in, so we'll put about 3,000 litres into one greenhouse, 3,000 litres into the next greenhouse. I'm actually quite pleased with our track that I've made here. It's about the right size for the tractor. I am quite pleased that we've managed to do that. Still disappointed that the terrain modification tool doesn't work with the greenhouse that we've got here. And also it doesn't work with our shed that we, our little shack that we got over that side. That was also a disappointment. There's some water gone in there, and then I'll put the rest into this one. I'm not doing more terrain modification yet. And the greenhouse, the new greenhouse that we want to get, because of the extra terrain modification it will have to do in order to make that one work, again, it's another thing that we're not going to do just yet. We're going to leave it until we've got some more spare cash, I think. Because I don't want this to be all about greenhouses. This isn't just greenhouse production simulator. We want to be doing all aspects of farming. So we've got our sheep up there. They're coming along quite nicely. Let me put the Bowser, water tanker, whatever you want to call it. We'll move it back that way. And that is loading from there, so I can unhitch it. Well, I probably don't need to, because there's a lot else that we're going to do. Not at the moment, anyway. Right. You stop there like that. Now then, where are we going to put this pallet? I was actually thinking that we're going to be working up here with the wool pallets there by the sheep. And, you know, we're going to start sort of clearing space here between the sheep. There's one. 2715. They go up to 3,000 litres in the sheep pen. So we're going to start clearing these bales out. I mean, yes, ideally what we would like is to have more small bales. I actually really like this idea of feeding the sheep with the small bales constantly. I think this works well. We can do this a bit more. So drop that one in there, and then that's all full. If we move on to a bigger barn, are we still going to want to do small bales like that? So, the first up, let's go and have a look through here. The animals that we've got, sheep there. So, we get 15 sheep only here. This is 25 sheep, a few extra. That one goes up to 65 sheep. We don't have to worry about water with that one. And, I mean, to be honest, it's not very much bigger than what we've already got. Could take up the pen that's there already and just put down this new one instead. It's not a lot different in size. With 65, it's 4 times the amount, so probably round bales would be about right for this one. I don't think, though, that round bales would be suitable, or square bales, would be suitable for the current sheep pens. But the wool, I'm kind of thinking that we can store the wool in here. If I move these bales over a little bit like this, I know that they're a bit of a mess. We could bring the pallets and we could put them in there and just sort of have them out in a line so that then the wool is stored until the best time of year to have the wool. And I'm wondering if we can fit the honey pallet in here. That would seem like a good spot to put it. Or maybe out on this side. Just a little bit away from the shed. Give us a little bit of room just in here. That might be better. Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.